episode of IVSA Kelantan podcast program. Today's topic is Can Sick Dogs Predict Cancer in Humans? Sounds interesting, right? Our guest speaker for today is no other than our own IVSA Kelantan advisor, Dr. Sujey Kumar anak lelaki Rajendren. A little bit of introduction. Dr. Sujey graduated from University Putra Malaysia with a degree of Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. He also has a Master of Veterinary Medicine in Clinical Pathology. Dr. Sujey currently teaches at University Malaysia Kelantan as a lecturer. Hello, Doctor, and welcome. Yes, Doctor? Hi.
Hi.
So, how does it feel being here as the guest speaker?
Oh, I don't know. This is my first time being here, so I hope everything went well before this, and I feel like agitated, hesitated, nervous, all sorts of emotion is like mixed up right now. So yeah.
Okay. So, the reason why we choose this topic, Can Sick Dogs Predict Cancer in Humans, today is because you had published an article in the FMT site, like Free Malaysian Today, regarding today's highlights. Okay, then I will pass the platform to Ashley.
Hello, Doctor. I'll be asking the questions for tonight. So I think we should start slow. So first things first, we would like to know how sick dogs and cancer predictions correlate in humans.
Okay, so the thought came to me when I was working in a clinic where one of the client he went for a radio surgery for a cancer, and the dog was let in the clinic to be treated for a cancer. And that is the time where the thought came to me whether animal can predict cancer in humans. So when I read few articles from the previous research, it is actually true. Actually, dogs having cancer, it correlate to humans as well. Like let's say if you are having a pet dog, right? So pet dog and human, we are exposed to same uh, environment where there is carcinogen and all those things. But what happened was because of the body metabolism, body metabolism, animals tend to exhibit the signs of cancer earlier compared to human. So what happened in another study, what the researcher found out was in a worker and the dog exposed to asbestos at the same point of time. But the dog exhibit the sign of asbestos or mesothelioma, a type of lung cancer, within 9 years after the exposure. But the human exhibit the sign after 20 years. So when there is a same pollutant or carcinogen being exposed to either animal or human, somehow or others, we human will exhibit the sign later than the animal. So let's say in a case where our pet exhibit the sign of cancer, we cannot just neglect that sign, saying that it is just the animal is the one having the cancer. We need to get ourselves tested, but definitely not to cause any panic. I think that is what a person who's in the right state of mind supposed to do, because these sort of things, it is uh, proven, and we cannot take it very lightly. Yeah.
Okay, that's understandable, Doctor. So what are the chances that these cancers can be detected by dogs? What are the statistics that we are looking at, or has there been no conclusive studies to support this?
So far, there's no conclusive study. There's no like statistical data being available for us to look very great in detail. But definitely, me being in the research field, I like to go about it, and I like to explore more about this. Definitely, now we are focusing more on One Health, but being in One Health, it is people mostly focus on infectious disease, but the cancer part, it is being neglected so far. So if we focus on, if we can collaborate One Health and also cancer together, probably we can achieve more benefit, I think, and that is where I'm going to look into. Yeah.
All right, doctor. So moving on, speaking of One Health, I think it's important for us to educate our clients on what carcinogenic factors are in our household. So which household items are the most common contributors to the increasing trend of cancer in both pets and humans?
Okay, for example, asbestos, as I told you just now, it can cause lung cancer. But on top of that, probably detergents, and we don't know what other things in our chemical that we are using. So yeah, and detergent probably I don't want to mention any brands or something, but definitely we have a lot of detergent being used to clean up the cages of animal and to clean up our house. So being said that we are exposed to the same toxic substances and asbestos I mentioned just now, and I don't know what else can cause. And when we talk about the factors that can cause cancer, there are a lot. Um, just to mention, there are 10 hallmark of cancer which um, can cause cancer in a human, but the carcinogen that we are looking into, um, there are many. So I don't know what are the chemicals can cause cancer in both human and animal. But for now, I'd just like to mention asbestos and also probably detergent.
All right, doctor. So from your article, you have mentioned that pets can be used as a sort of canary birds to detect cancer because they display clinical signs earlier than their owners do. So I've always been curious about this. Can dogs actually like smell cancer in humans?
Oh yeah, there are few research have been done. I don't know how these dogs can actually smell cancer, but in my personal opinion, I think instead of using animals, especially dogs, to smell cancer, I think we can use it in this way where they can exhibit the sign earlier. So let's say if our pet dog exhibit the signs earlier, then I think we need to be very cautious and probably not to cause any tension, any panic in ourselves. Probably we can get ourselves tested probably once a year or 6 months once. Yeah, I think that is the best way instead of using the animal to smell the cancer. In my
All right.
personal point of view, not to contradict with anyone's idea. Yeah.
Okay, doctor. So thank you for that. I will be passing the floor to Jaya now.
Okay, thank you, thank you, Ashley. So my question for doctor is, while we all know that we have pets and they can be used as parameters for early detection of cancer, and they may be beneficial for humans as well. So my question is, how do we protect our pets from these carcinogenic dangers?
Okay. In order to rectify a problem, we need to know the cause. But quite often, in many cancer cases, we don't know what is the cause. And just to mention, there are a lot of carcinogens and there are a lot of toxic substances which can cause cancer. So over here, I think if your animal having any particular type, let's say um, your animal is having prostate cancer. So no, just giving an example. If my dog is having prostate cancer, I think I need to get myself tested for prostate cancer. So, but not knowing what is the cause, that is a big question mark. We need to know what causes the cancer, and I think if in order to know that, we need to screen through all the stuff that we are using. But to do that, I think that is very taxing. So I think instead of knowing what are the things that can cause cancer, we can go about this way where if your dog is having any particular cancer, we can go and test yourself for that same cancer.
All right, thank you, doctor. Okay, as for the next question, what are the ethical arguments involved in using animals as a warning signs for cancer?
Hmm, definitely in terms of research to inoculate cancer cells in animal, it is definitely an ethical issue. But somehow or other, all the research that have been done all this while, it goes through IACUC, association which regulates the usage of animal in research. So this association, their main role is to look after the welfare of the research animals. So whatever research that we do, definitely we need to get their approval, and we look at 3R factors, which is to reduce, reuse, and also refine the research. So let's say in the place where we need to use 100 dogs, we can use just one dog and um, get the result. And definitely we need to mm, do the research without any pain, taking care of the welfare of the animal, and all those things. But what I am talking about in the article, it is naturally occurring cancer where it doesn't really like need to go through any animal ethics. Let's say in your house, if you are keeping a pet, and if your pet all of a sudden develop a cancer, and that is the time that raises alarm where you need to get yourself checked. So that is what I meant. But when we talk about animal welfare, I think whatever research that we are doing in the research facility, it goes through animal welfare association approval. So but definitely I'm sure all the research that have been done, uh, it well taken care of the animals welfare, the pain and everything. And I know the animal, they definitely, if they want to put the animal through any suffering, it has certain procedures for the association to look into it. And definitely they won't really approve the research if it is against the principle of the association. So that is in terms of research when we inoculate cancer in animal. Yeah. All right.
Okay, thank you, doctor. So I'm quite curious. Based on the article, doctor mentioned that dogs can detect cancer. So is there like any other animals that can detect it as well?
Yeah. In the article, as you mentioned, canary bird were used to detect not really cancer, to detect some sort of diseases, but not only dogs. But in the article, I really I focus on dogs because dogs is the first animal domesticated to stay to live together with human. So being said that our gene, our our physiology, it is like well adapted to all the carcinogens, all the pollutants, everything. So that is the reason why I focus on dogs. But on top of that, there are a lot of other animals being kept as pet, but I'm not really sure whether those animals can be used to detect cancer or not. But definitely on top of dogs, I can consider cats as well because cats do exhibit signs of cancer similar to human. For example, mammary gland tumor, squamous cell carcinoma. So just to mention few. So if you ask me, other animals can be used to detect cancer, I will suggest cat as well. Yeah. But on top of that, there are a lot of other pets, snakes, iguana. I'm not really sure about that. Yeah.
All right, thank you, doctor. And for my last question, so like dogs, they can detect early signs of cancer. Can they also like detect early signs of other diseases? And if they could, how can they detect it?
All right. This is very good question. Um, on top of cancer, another part of my research is kidney stone. I- If you guys realize, some dogs they share human food as well, and animal and human they eat same food throughout their life. But whether they can develop down the road the kidney stones, we don't really know. But I'm really interested to look into that. But definitely, it is very curious whether animals having kidney stone does it correlate with the human having kidney stone? But yeah, I like to know more about that, and definitely I'll read on that and I'll do some study research on that. Probably on the next session we can talk about that. So that is another possibility. And another possibility might be skin issues. Yeah, being exposed to fungus in the same environment. Animal and human, yeah, they can exhibit or they can suffer from fungal infection or bacterial infection. Yeah, but I don't know the latent period when the animal will exhibit a sign and when the human will exhibit the sign. But it is possible. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
All right.
Okay, I'll pass the floor to Ada.
Okay, so unfortunately, we have come to the end of the time that allocated for us today. So, to conclude from our discussion or our podcast session for this day, pets who share the same living space as us tend to display signs of disease much earlier than us due to their shortage due to their shorter lifespan. While these warning signs are beneficial in early detection and also treatment of certain human diseases, we should have taken it upon us ourselves to ensure that our homes are safe for both of us and our pets. So, thank you, Dr. Sujey, for taking the time to talk with us about this topic for today. And for our listeners too, I would like to say very much thank you. And please check out Dr. Sujay's article. We'll link it in our YouTube description, or you can search it. Can sick dogs predict cancer in humans on the Free Malaysia today? And once again, thank you to our team and also our lovely listeners for making this podcast possible. And have a good day, everyone. So thank you, Jaya. Thank you, Ashley. And also thank you, Doctor.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.